In this episode of Linux Newslog, Red Hat and Novell patch things up, Nokia confirms first Maemo 6-based device for second half of 2010, Mozilla ships Firefox 3.6 Beta 5, and how to run live Linux CD in Windows. QuickSurf Internet Media presents Linux Newslog, separating the Linux and open source signal from the noise. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm your host Adrian, coming to you almost live from Studio BR2 here at QuickSurf Internet Media in Phoenix, Arizona. Linux Newslog is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Do feel free to head on over to www.techpodcasts.com, and if there's anything you like about my shows, you'll certainly find other technology-related shows over there as well. Let's go ahead and get into the stories for Season 10, Episode 5. From TechieBuzz.com, Nokia confirms first Maemo 6-based device for second half of 2010, or 2010, as you may call it. Nokia's Executive Vice President Solutions, Alberto Torres, has confirmed that Nokia is ready to launch its first device-based Maemo 6 in the latest generation of its Linux-based mobile operating system sometime in the second half of 2010. Now, I didn't think. Maemo 6 features a very powerful and intuitive UI which focuses strongly on web-based social networking. Since it supports Qt 4.6, application and UI changes will be far more frequent. So, kind of nice. Again, it's 6+ months off, so we'll follow this as things happen. Let's talk about our sponsor for this episode, GoToAssist Express. Trying to help someone through a technical issue over the phone is a nightmare, especially when you don't have access to their computer. The last thing you want to do is drive over and fix the problem in person, because that's a colossal waste of time as well. Well, that's why I want you to try GoToAssist Express. It's from my friends at Citrix, the same folks that bring us GoToMyPC and GoToMeeting. It's the easiest, most affordable way to remotely view and control another computer for a PC or Mac, and it includes unlimited, unattended support. I've used GoToAssist Express and it's great. I can't tell you how many hours I've saved fixing minor problems on mom and dad's computers, whereas before, I used to have to drive out to Mesa just to fix some puny little thing. And now with GoToAssist Express, it's a simple matter of they call me, I jump on the internet, jump on their computer, bam, 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 and I can get on with my life. So it's definitely been a huge time saver. I want you to try GoToAssist Express free for 30 days. For this special offer, visit gotoassist.com/techpodcast. That's gotoassist.com/techpodcast. From javaworld.com, in the Java World's Daily Brews section, there's an article entitled IBM JBoss WebSphere. And it starts off with the release of Glassfish version 3 on top of JEE6. Oracle is back in the driver's seat with Java. They have overtaken Red Hat as the core community behind developing ease of use features for developers, customers, and ISVs, so that the ecosystem of JEE will naturally find more benefits in working with Oracle to port to both WebLogic and Glassfish, something that JBoss simply cannot offer, nor can SpringSource, nor can SAP, and especially not IBM, even though they offer Geronimo. So this goes into basically the failings of IBM's implementation, and it's quite an interesting read, especially if you're a big JBoss WebSphere user. From computerworld.com, Mozilla ships Firefox 3.6 Beta 5 and pushes the final release into 2010, which makes sense considering it's December 20th. Mozilla on Thursday issued a 5th beta of Firefox 3.6 rather than move on to a release candidate, a decision that will push the final code ship date into early 2010, a company executive said Friday. Firefox 3.6 Beta 5 was released as an update to current testers early Thursday and can also be installed by others who download it from Mozilla's site. Nearly 130 fixes are in the latest beta, which fixes numerous crash bugs, major problem with TraceMonkey and the JavaScript rendering engine, and several other things. So it should be significantly better, but the final 3.6 isn't going to be out in it for probably 2 to 3 months. So we'll see how that goes. From informationweek.com, there's an article entitled 9 Ways to Avoid Open Source Pitfalls. Basically, it starts out, follow these guidelines and avoid problems while still benefiting from what the open source software community has to offer. This is a great article. Basically, the 9 things to do is ask why rather than why not. It's open, not free. That's a huge misconception. A lot of people think, oh my gosh, it's open source, it's free. Well, not necessarily. Yeah. It's a different development model than what you'll get. The third one, it's a different development model than what you'll get in traditional paid software or closed software systems. Define a contribution strategy. If you're going to be using open source, assume you're going to be contributing to it. Select your license with care. This is a biggie. The GPL is not the end-all be-all open source license out there. There are many open source licenses, so pick the one that best suits for what you're going to do. Don't contribute bad code, obviously. Nobody likes getting bad code. Number 7, pick the right business model. Again, this goes tightly in with what license you're going to pick. Number 8, don't require a ransom. Number 9, maintenance isn't free. This is another misconception. Maintenance is not free. It never has been. It never will be. And then the 10th one, get to work. So this is pretty neat. I actually haven't read through all of the points to completion. A lot of them are just like, oh yeah, I already know that. But still, nonetheless, pretty neat stuff. From the Inquirer.net, Canonical Shuttleworth is stepping down. Canonical CEO Mark Shuttleworth is stepping down. The company which created the Debian-based Linux distro Ubuntu, one of my favorite ones, has appointed COO Jane Silber to fill the CEO position the company has announced. Shuttleworth will not be leaving the company but taking on a role similar to Bill Gates in his last years at Microsoft. Shuttleworth said his new position will let him enjoy what he likes doing most at the company, and considering his criticism about the lack of focus in Linux development, this is a big issue with me too, it seems like the job should suit him. So, all things considered, the world's not coming to an end, obviously. I mean, apparently it's something that, if anything, Ubuntu will get better for the simple reason that now Mark Shuttleworth is doing a job that will benefit things more. For our how-to section, I found an article on techiebuzz.com, and it's entitled Run Live Linux CD in Windows. The best feature about most of the Linux distributions is that they let users try the whole operating system and all applications without installing them locally on the computer. Linux distribution CDs that provide this feature are called live CDs. To boot a Linux distribution from a live CD, you have to insert it into your CD-ROM drive and reboot your machine. But usually there's no possibility to save configuration data and files that you work with when you boot from a live CD. For this reason, we will show you how you can run a Linux live CD inside Windows. And the live CD they've chosen is Mobia Live CD. It's a freeware application, and it goes through the steps of doing so. So if it's something you want to try out, check it out. That'll pretty much do it for this edition of Linux Newslog. I thank you for listening and watching. For those of you who are watching on YouTube or Vimeo or blip.tv. As always, everything we've talked about is linked up in the show notes. It's coming up near the end of the year, so I had a little bit of trouble finding some decent stories, but that's all fine and dandy. As always, visit us on the web, linux.quicksurf.com, where you can find the show notes for everything and all the video links and download links for all of the shows. You can also shoot me an email, linux@quicksurf.com, or follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Adrian_bacon. I also have a bevy of other ways to get a hold of me in the show notes. And with that, I will see all of you on the next episode. I'll see you then. Bye.